what's the first thing you want to talk about? Talk about when you knew about the situation?
I think what I want to talk about is two things related, because when we say bipolar disorder, I understood after some time that it defines you. It's your personality. You become that illness. So you're not, you can't be separated. So I'm going to talk about a bit about myself, and then, of course, describing and trying to explain what is bipolar disorder. And after that, I will talk about the solution I found that helped me a lot, and that I'm trying to share with other people who have the same experience.
So for people, I would like to tell you first, he also works in graphical design. The billboards you saw at the beginning, he was the one that made it. You saw the way the letters, the words were actually coming. It's called kinetic typography animation. Kinetic typography animation. And he's the one who did it. Guys, please let's thank Ahmed
I'm trying to be a bit funny to don't be stressed. Okay, let's start. First of all, I want to thank all the BIL team for organizing this extraordinary event, and especially Nabil, Olga, for the warm welcoming. I'm going to say that my story started with some difficulty I had when I was young. I have been through a lot of difficulties, things that usually we saw in films. It's not to dramatize the situation, but that's what pushed the illness to show off at 19, when I have 19. So, bipolar disorder, mostly it's about mood variation. So the brain actually and normally work depending on the event. So if there is something that happened that makes you sad, you become sad. If something happy, like a birthday or a marriage, you are forced to be happy, to smile to other people. The problem with bipolar disorder is that disconnection with the reality. You are always in a mood that's different from the situation you are in. And this is the real difficulty, that you don't feel included in communities, you don't feel included with other people, you have always extreme emotions. So at first you just start thinking that you are crazy because all the society treats you as crazy. They don't try to understand what's happening behind all that weird behavior. What I have been through is that I was forced to be patient at mental illness hospital, which is Razi, 2 times. So I spent like 4 months. The first one was 2 months, and the second one 1 month and a half. And also I experienced 15 months of depression. The first one was 9 months without seeing the sunlight, and the second one was 6 months. So imagine, like, it comes a moment when you can't do anything, you can't understand anything, you can't even move from your bed to have a shower, while you open, for instance, Facebook, and you find that a friend of you is just got married or in a trip or something like that. Imagine how are you feeling at that particular moment. It's an everyday struggle, because people in general think that mental illness is about whether you are normal or you are just crazy. But there is another difficulty, is that 25% of bipolar disorder, it's about mood swings and episodes, the manic episode and the depressive episode. but also the other part, which is 75%, it's about invisible difficulties and problems that others don't notice, but you are living with every day, every moment, every minute, every second, until you get tired, and here it comes another manic and depressive episode, and you spend all your life like that. So, first of all, I want to say that studying psychology as a hobby, of course, because my studies were focused on computer, on multimedia and graphics, I avoided scripts, etc., because it causes stress for me and I can't handle that. What I was saying?
Sorry?
What I was saying?
You're talking about...
Yes, psychology. Okay. I will explain what happened now. In the brain of a bipolar person, when he is confronted to a stress situation, there is a hyperactivity in the brain. So when you do a brain scan for a normal person, I don't believe a lot that normal exists, because normal is the average. So what happens in the brain is that when when you take a brain scan and you see the difference is that there is regions in the brain of a bipolar that are activated without outside stimulation. So like things in your brain starting to work without yes, that's it. So what else? Yes, psychology. Okay, so psychology helped me to understand the behavior of people, to try to compare my own behavior with others. So the first book I was reading is Feminine Psychology, and I discovered a lot of strange things. So after that...
So, yes, a lot of mood swings. Okay, so psychology helped me to understand a lot of things like human behavior and also the way we can face different situations. And thanks to that, I developed some methods that helped me to handle my mental illness in a way to keep studying and keep working at the same time, doing very interesting activities like sports, martial arts. I'm a black belt. So developing those methods pushed me to understand that to be alive, you need to find people that makes you feel you are someone and you need respect, and that you have your place in this world, because I think deep in my thoughts that there is a place for everyone. When I experienced the deep depression, like going down in a dark tunnel, feeling the pain in your thoughts and also in your muscles, because there is a physical and mental pain, and it's really hard to handle it. At the end, you start thinking about how to end all the suffer. You start thinking about death. A lot of bipolar people, celebrities also, for instance, commit suicide because it's not about having faith, but because they were very desperate and no one knew how to help them, so they just ended with their lives, while others are laughing or just watching their movies, saying that their works also, saying that Van Gogh is a talented painter, but he spent all his life in suffer, and the creativity he's bringing to life so that we can see his works today and say, wow, it's unbelievable, it's something coming out of the box. Behind that there is a lot of suffer. he ended with shooting his head with a gun, he cut his ear, etc., etc. Anyway, the description of bipolar disorder, you can find it on internet, because I believe that I would not have the time to explain everything. I just ask you to be aware that there is people in this world suffering, surrounded by you. They are everywhere. Bipolar disorder touches between 1 and 3% of the mondial population. So just consider that if someone changes, if someone behaves weirdly, it's not because he is bad, but because there is a reason behind that. I'm coming to the last part of my speech to say that when there is a will, there is a way, and I learned from my modest experience that I can't just let it down. I can't just disappear. I can't stop fighting. I will always fight, and we found a solution. A solution, a miraculous solution. Okay, thank you. So I met a special woman that I love very much and I respect very much. She is married, please. So, she helped me a lot to believe again in my life, to believe that there is a hope, and together we joined other special peoples, and we come up with an idea. We can see here some of our meetings and group therapy. I'm going to talk about it. The idea was the Tunisian Association of Bipolar Disorder. So together we started doing an interesting thing that were absent in Tunisia, which is also weird because psychiatrists and all the medical staff didn't take the risk to do that because they were thinking, I guess, that handling people with mental illness is something tricky. So we took the initiative to do that. We understood what is the concept of group therapy, and basically it's about sharing. It's about expressing your deep fear, your deep pain, your deep suffer. Try to see yourself in the other persons. We build a community that grows up very fast. Last year we were just 6 persons. Today we are 1,080 members in the association. We work in parallel with psychiatrists. We try to go even to homes to understand, to explain, to educate. And today I'm in front of you talking, handling my stress, trying to talk about my profound and deep everyday struggle. I want to thank you all for giving me this chance. And like I said, please consider that there is people in this world that are suffering. They are invisible, but if you are aware enough, you can see them. Thank you.